And we're back, y'all, like we never left. So shout out to Asia and BJ Reacts, or AJ and BJ Reacts. I love their channel. If you haven't subscribed to them, go ahead, even though I can use some of their subscriber counts. But anywho, my name is James, and this is my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen, but that's okay. One of these days, it will. Joining me, as always, y'all know my co-host, Mrs. Best, aka my girl Amina.
Hello.
We are here to talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 7 review. Y'all, we are getting through these lives today because we both got stuff to do. We ain't got time to be sitting there playing with y'all. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the episode. So it opens up Ashley with Drew. She's over there, temperature checking her baby and stuff like that. And I said, Drew, if you show me one more hospital visit, I swear, I promise you, it's not gonna be good for you because I'm gonna read you because I'm gonna be like, why is you always sick?
Like, I want to know how many times she caught COVID.
Me too. I kind of. If anybody knows, put that in the comments. If anybody knows how many times Drew caught COVID, put it in the comments so I can read it. Because I promise you, my guess is 6 times. She got every variant. I promise you, she did.
Not every variant. I can't stand it.
But anywho, she was talking to the assistant Danielle, who's there, and she was telling her about the video, how she has all the dance moves. You already know. She said she's gonna have a video, and then the conversation then talks because Ralph at some point brings the baby back in the room, and they start talking about her sister, who was her actual manager in the industry for a very long time. And her sister had like a psychotic breakdown or something to that extent. It was a mental health. So her sister's in recovery, and now his kid actually got approved to come see her. And so Ralph kind of is on edge because his sister has made some very trying allegations against him. So based on what we know today, and that being some time ago, do you think the sister was right with what she said, or do you feel like
just because you have a psychotic break doesn't mean you're wrong in your thought process? Mm-hmm. Ralph is manipulative. He gaslights. Mm-hmm. My thing that I didn't like is, so you banned the sister from your house for saying something about you.
I'm glad you said that because that just left my mind.
The world said the same thing. Are you going to ban Andy Cohen? Because he said you were manipulative as well and gaslit. And all of production and every cast member on the show who's been in your house. So that made me look at Ralph like, okay.
No, it made me wonder if the sister really did see some shit and you blaming it on her mental psyche to play in our faces and shit. It makes me wonder. I don't know.
No, I think Ralph's just a shitty person.
Yeah, dude did go to Tampa without his wife knowing, so I don't know. So,
another man who abandons his wife and his kids.
Right. It seems like that's the trend.
God knows what.
Trend this week. Yeah, because we
Ralph
just had another show.
He knows if anybody treated Lil Nine the way that Ralph treats Drew. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping they don't. I'm hoping that's not his karma because they always say a daughter is a man's karma. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So Drew invites the sister anyway, and Ralph really did feel uneasy about it, but it was like, this is her house too. Like, honestly, and what
for?
Yeah, like I don't understand. Yeah, like I don't understand. Like, because you was trying to kick her out of this house and y'all divorced. Oh, we too far ahead. Let me shut up. So, yeah, I don't even want to go there. But
public information, but I mean, it's true. He just seems like one of those dudes. He knew he was marrying somebody who was for him a come up. He may have had success prior to her, but not success that bought the house, the money, the cars that comes with her. Because
yeah. So then next we go over to Sonia and Marlo. They're having a conversation and catching up. Marlo tells Sonia, about she being set up on this blind date, which we'll get to in the end of the episode. And Sonia's excited and all this, and Marlo was giving the details saying he's Jamaican, and that makes Sonia happy. She goes, "That's what you need. You're a Jamaican." And I looked at Sonia and I was like,
"You don't have a Jamaican."
Yeah, I was like, how you gonna say just because you are Jamaican does not mean any of that? So let me ask you this question because I laughed when she said that shit. Do you think Marlo needs a Jamaican man?
I think Marlo needs a therapist. I think Marlo needs a doctor of psychology, and then she can date.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say
Because
about.
I'm starting to believe one of these bloggers, I can't remember which one it was, one of these bloggers thinks that Marlo is sexually orientated, depressed, or repressed.
What does that mean? See, I
So it means that I was trying to be politically correct in what I was saying. What I was saying was they think that Marlo is trying to fight homosexuality.
it wouldn't
I don't,
surprise
s-
me.
I
It
don't,
wouldn't surprise me because
it wouldn't surprise me either, but I still kind of, I'm like this. I'm like, I could see it, but I can't really pinpoint if that's really what it is. So she said she
yeah.
ain't had no man in 4 years. So it was like,
No, get down. I'm so
so
sorry, my
no,
cat.
you're good. You're good.
Oh,
So
just
moving on from that scene, that was a kind of funny scene. Um, we then go over to Sheree, who was at her house talking to some event coordinator that runs her website, and she still has products she's trying to launch, which are baby clothes. And I was looking at that, and I was like, oh, okay, so Sheree's trying to get her a whole, Burlington Coat Factory. Shout out to Burlington Coat Factory situation here. So she got everything from the babies to. And when she was talking to the man to the website, it brings me to the conversation that Candy and her had, which I'm gonna bring up in a minute. But I was looking at that, I was like, one, like Sheree said, the man didn't have no She by Sheree anywhere near that. So it's like, who did you hire? Are you paying that? Oh, girl, your cat just going crazy.
I know. Keep talking. I can hear
Yeah.
you.
But it was just like, Sheree, come on now. You over here being silly and you I can't believe anything Sheree is saying at this point because it's all bullshit at this like baby clothes, athletic wear. What's next?
Listen, did you see how whoever was working with her was throwing shade? By the way, to the Watch Your Mouth Reviews watchers, I apologize. I don't know why my cat's acting psychotic. I don't know. But did you see him throw shade?
I saw it and I was
How are the
like,
people working for you? So that Sheree doesn't realize while trying to pretend to look like she does her job, that she's exposing the fact that she doesn't do her job because you have this look like an office in Chateau Sheree or whatever the hell she calls it. It looks like she has an office in there, which most people have an office in their house. I'm in my office area. So, it looked like it definitely gave. I'm in my office right now. I have my logo up for decoration, but this is not the official She by Sheree office. She's just looking at stuff that's already done, meaning someone else has designed this and thrown your logo onto something else. And the people working for you are throwing shade like, well, customers want to see this and are asking for this, but it ain't there. So we gotta, your team, what I got from that, because I didn't think about that when all the stuff with She by Sheree was happening. I didn't think about the fact that when you do something bad, yes, it's your name, but for people trying to find jobs who unfortunately have to list you on their resume, you're making it harder for them to find jobs. And what I got
mhm.
from that is they're trying to do their job, but she don't approve nothing and stuff. And she's trying to look busy and talk about, oh, well, I want to get this and that. She didn't even acknowledge what he said
Yeah, it was
about
crazy.
the customer. So I was like, Sheree, have
Like,
you never
so,
worked
and
with?
that brought me, yeah, and that brought me to the question of when the producer asked her, "So, have you made a profit by She by Sheree?" And Sheree was dying to say yes. You can see she was fighting herself because she knew that if she said yes, somebody was gonna pull that shit up somewhere. So I'm glad she said, "No, no, not right now.
But no,
Let
that's
me have
even
this."
worse because listen, I've managed stores before just as a store manager, and I knew if we made a profit or not. It's called a P&L report, people. And I don't know a single person in any form of a business that doesn't follow a P&L report. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Like,
and see,
It literally is a report that tells you, for those who don't know, P&L stands for profits and losses. It literally tells you these things. How do you not know?
so what I'm gonna say is this because I feel like 'cause she said that she's not gotten back the money that she's put into it, but what have you put into it is the question that we all need to know
That
because
should be in the report.
that's exactly like what money have you put into this business? Because it literally should say the money you make back. So you should say the money that was invested into the business, and underneath it should say the profit that gained, and then it shows the percentage of what you need. That's how it's supposed to work. Sheree can't tell you none of that because she can't tell you the exact number. She said it was over $1 million, which I don't believe at
You
all.
know, the same thing happened. Lisa Vanderpump
Hmm.
opened a restaurant on Vanderpump Rules. I'm a huge
Right.
Vanderpump Rules fan. With the Toms, which people are familiar with the scandal. Prior to the scandal, no one knew that she just wanted to open up a new restaurant, Tom Tom, right? Season coming back after Tom Tom opened. Have you made any money yet, Lisa? They asked the Toms, have you made any money yet? No, we have not made a profit yet. But she said they were a couple 100,000 away from turning a profit and getting back what they put into it. How can you expect us, Sheree, to take you seriously as a woman in business, not even a business owner? Retail managers like myself, regular broke motherfuckers like me, okay? We understand profit and loss. Why don't you? Why don't you know how much your business is making? How are you sitting here
Because it
planning
looks like
for
she got
more?
into the business. Yeah.
She probably
Unless
just
she got
wanted
into the
to.
business just because she wanted to do it, because she got tired of people calling her some sort of fake ass,
That's why
reality
I'm
star.
looking at her and I'm like,
It's annoying. It's super annoying because there's people who would kill to be in Sheree's shoes,
yeah,
having a business.
yeah.
And I've known people who started clothing lines and, made t-shirts and they didn't turn a profit until the second year.
It takes years to
It
turn a
takes
profit.
years to turn a profit,
Years to
and
turn a
not to
profit.
mention and she has the advantage because she's on a show with a catchy catchphrase, and she still can't get this shit up. It's like, I can't with Sheree, like, I can't. Like, people kill for these opportunities, and here you go being boring, 1, and then 2, not even knowing the prospects of your own business.
Sheree was never, in my opinion, no disrespect. I don't know shade, but this is shade. I don't think she was ever anyone's favorite housewife. Like even in her
I was
prime,
like, "Girl."
back when RHOA was in seasons 1 and 2, she was not anyone's favorite housewife. She was kind of the bitchy bully of the group, uh, who's always been fake about the uppityness and the statue of things. She's so focused on how things look, she's not looking at what goes into it, uh, which is harmful to the people who are working for her because it makes it harder for them to get jobs. But look, She by Sheen, it stands because people have done research, honey, and you use the exact same manufacturer that Sheen and Timu and I believe Fashion Nova as well. You're using the same manufacturer as them, and nothing's wrong with that.
No,
But
because,
call
yeah,
it
it's
merch, not fashions.
right. Because like I tell people from the beginning, Sheree should have came out with a line of
Mhm.
maxi dresses. Because that's
Yeah.
all she used to wear back in the day was
Mhm.
maxi dresses and
That's because
call
that's
it
what was
the
in. Now something
exactly.
else is in. So she's wearing that. Sheree is like a 16-year-old high school girl who's new to the school and wants to fit in.
Hmm. So yeah. But that was pretty much it with that Sheree. I don't want to go too far because maybe I keep this light. So the next thing, I'm gonna talk about Drew's sister. She shows up. It broke my heart to see this lady because I know what that's like personally,
Mhm.
and and people were easy on her. I'm gonna give people that y'all fans, Real Housewives of Atlanta fans, know how to show up and know when to scale it back a little bit because I was like, please don't nobody going in on this lady because you could see it in her. She was fragile. She was, appointed. It was just so sad to see her, and I want to know the sister story. Like I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I
and it
feel
looked.
bad for her sister.
I
It's definitely
did.
something. I can relate to having issues with depression and things like that.
Mhm.
And I was glad she showed up after the camera stopped rolling, and I don't think they wanted us to know, but I think that was intentional.
Mhm.
Because that can be extremely overwhelming. I also think it was good Ralph's ass was asleep when she arrived.
Yeah, because he had one false move, I'd have went in on Ralph. I really would
I
have.
think the
I would
whole
have.
world
I'd have went
would
in
have went
because
in on
the
Ralph. Yeah.
I just because I've never wanted to hug somebody on the camera on the TV like I wanted to hug that lady because I know what that's like. I tell you people all the time, mental health is a real thing. Like y'all, this country suffers from it in so many different varieties that we can't even conquer them all. People who study like preventative and psychological medicine, we can't even, you know, function like how many different types of varieties there are of mental health breakdowns because there's so many different types because there's so many different people in this world. There's
Mhm.
always a new one every day discovered. So, our prayers are with the sister. We hope that, seeing herself on TV does not re-trigger, but just revitalizes her in the most positive way. So I'm going to say that about the sister. Moving forward. So I'm going to move on to the conversation with Candy and Sheree. So they meet up. I didn't realize Sheree was still driving that same Porsche, but hey, you can spray paint it a different color all you want, Sheree. We know that's that same Porsche. But she comes in, Candy drives up behind her. Sheree got a whole mink on and some heels going to the park. And Candy had on regular clothes. I said, Sheree, where the fuck do you think you're going?
She wants to look again like she's something that she's not. I feel like she never got over the fact that Nene got famous off of their beef years ago. And so now she wants to look fabulous and grand because that's some shit Nene would do. I'm
It
talking
was it is.
season 1 and 2 going on the heel run for a marathon for the cause. Like that's some shit Nene would do. I feel like Sheree is trying to fill that void in her own mind,
But
but
who's to say Sheree will get another season? That's the thing, Sheree. You got to reserve that money like it's your last season. Because when you
nostalgia is in right now. That's why we're seeing things like I love 90s concert shows, segments.
Mhm.
Literally, there are TV networks dedicated to 90s television. So I feel like they're seeing that nostalgia is in because no disrespect to the new generation. These 2000s babies, I don't know what the hell wrong with y'all. Yeah, but look, come up with something original, please, because we can't keep living in the past with shows like RHOA. They need to let go of people on this cast who have been there for a long time in order for the television show to grow. That's why some of the best seasons of RHOA are either the earliest, right after Portia and Kenya came on, right when Phaedra came in was a good time because there were new people coming into the mix.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
won't let go of Candy. They need to. We love Candy, but she's boring TV. And the fans, more people agree she's boring than they do that find her interesting. She's likable, but she's boring. Same issues. Candy's got to go. Kenya, I think her time is up. Marlo's definitely got to go. Sheree, though, if they do nothing and want to keep everybody else, Sheree has to go.
So Bravo in that call center, because I ain't said this all review. I was waiting for her video. Bravo in this call center. Y'all need to stop trying to force Sheree on us. Because that
Mhm.
is what y'all are doing. Y'all are forcing Sheree on us either for one or two reasons. Either y'all want us to continue to talk about her to make her relevant in some which way, or y'all are secretly trying to let her go and y'all try to make sure that she has enough revenue so that way she can't come back again. Because
Mhm.
I don't want to see no reunion between no Kim Zolciak and no Sheree Whitfield next season. Because I know that was in talks. I don't want to see it. So let's not do that. But let's talk about this picnic scene with her and Candy. So, they start to, Sheree felt that Candy was coming for her and her business because the example she gave is when my website launched and it did crash. And we were looking at Sheree. Me and Candy had the same look. It's like, Sheree, that website did not fucking crash.
You needed to shut it down so that you could address all of the complaints. and orders and refunds that you had.
It's not even that. I feel like Sheree went the cheap route building that website, like we said before. She went the cheap route and built that website, and it couldn't hold the bandwidth of people visiting. That's just what it is. Let's just call it what it is. And then yes, I'm pretty sure she got some refund requests, even though
That's a laugh, James. 'Cause you're making me story.
what is true?
Because I tear when I laugh. I hate you.
Because that's what it is.
The website doesn't have the bandwidth.
It,
I'm just
it
thinking of these cheap website builders.
yes.
It's like the resume builder. I feel like she went there. Well,
She did. I don't know what she
I'm a
did.
star, so let me put this star up here. Doesn't matter. It looks like the cowboy star. Someone to recognize it. I just did.
I'm just saying, like, it was like, so when Candy was shading her, I was like, I was living for her because I was like, yes.
Now that if Candy does more of that, come
Oh,
on, you
Candy
could
read the fuck out
stay
of
on the
Candy read the
show.
fuck out of Sheree. Sheree was like, "What? It also, it's not so this.
The best part
It
though,
was
that
Monday."
Candy did, but Candy, have you
Yeah,
bought anything for the website? That's what I'm telling you. No, because when I went and tried, it was shut.
and that's what she said. No, I should, what happened was I shut it down. No, not Sunday. It was
She
Monday.
does. She talks like an auctioneer
Right. It was like
that may have
Sheree.
smoked just a little bit of crack, and now he's experiencing the paranoia or something.
Yeah, it was like Sheree. All you could do at this point is just not even say, "Yeah, girl, my shit was fucked up." I'd rather you had said that.
I mean, but look
'Cause
at
at
the
least,
way she came in.
okay.
So it's very difficult for her to admit when things are messed up based on her choices in wigs and men.
hmm And then she tried to, and this was the killer. Then she tried to throw in Candy's face, Candy store. She goes, "There's some things I bought from you, and I only could wash it once and everything." And she said, "Well,
Candy's like,
eventually,
I'm not the designer. Candy is Target, Kohl's, um,
Rainbow Factory to
Montgomery
you."
Wards, if you
Yes,
want to take it all the
exactly.
way back, Mervyn's. She's one of
Yes.
them. Okay. She is just the retailer. So the way it works for the charades watching is when you own a store, you find people who have brands and companies and you sell their products and they get a percentage of the products you sell. That is how it works.
Or for those who actually play it smarter, you actually can buy them outright with their products
You
and take
can.
the full profit,
Mhm.
give them and then you give them a lump sum, and then you actually can factor in their names. And
And
when you run,
consignment. You can
yes,
do
exactly.
consignment
You can even
with
do
people who
that.
design. And then if they don't sell a lot, you ain't got to get them back. You ain't got to
Show
keep
don't
them.
you?
But Sheree doesn't know. The funniest part of that conversation with me is she kept trying to be like, and that's what happens in fashion, Candy. That's what happens in fashion, Candy. You should know that. That's what happens in fashion. She kept trying to equate things to be what happens in the fashion industry. Listen, I
I
buy,
want one designer to tell me that Sheree was right.
look, because I don't know. That's what I was about to say. I buy clothes when I can from Walmart, Target, Amazon. Look, I'm a baller on a budget. I'm actually hella cheap. Like shoes, I'll spend money on, but clothes, I don't.
Me either. I'm kind of one of those people because I have to wash it. It's gonna fade.
Yeah,
I have to, I live somewhere where it's hot, so
hot
it
as
should.
hell.
Yeah, so it's not going to matter what clothes. Now, when I go out, that's a different story. But
Mhm.
no, the clothes I buy
The
are not.
everyday
Yeah,
clothes, the
everyday
ones you
clothes.
wear to
Yeah,
work.
and a lot of the
Mhm.
shit I work in, so it's like, yeah, I sweat. Yeah, it's not gonna. So it's good quality. It's not good quality of stuff. I mean,
Sheree just showed though in that scene that she doesn't understand the fashion
business.
industry.
No,
And
she
it's
doesn't understand
sad.
business in general.
If you don't
It goes.
understand, hire people. But remember that
Yes.
scene from season 2? Who gonna check me, boo? She was wrong. She was wrong. If you remember what actually happened in that
Yeah, I
scene,
remember what actually happened. Yeah, and
wrong
see, and that's the
in dealing with
thing,
fashion. And that's why she by Sheree couldn't get off the floor because she couldn't respect
and it's
the people
still,
she was hiring.
and I said, and it's still a magnified of struggle because when you look at what she's selling,
Mhm.
Everybody is selling that for $100 cheaper than what you're selling it at.
There's no reason on God's green earth that I should be spending 150 plus on a sweatsuit. I believe Beyonce's Ivy Park sweatsuit you can get for that price. I'm just in my head like,
Yeah,
do you know? I understand wanting to charge yourself for what you think that you are and your value, but you
that
probably
takes
would have sold
time.
she probably
Like,
would have sold so much more if she just would have kept it real with us. Like, I'm just sticking to outerwear right now, everyday stuff moms and grandmas could wear. And then hopefully in time we can grow to be a bigger brand. It's nothing wrong with
I
starting
feel
small.
like her profits would have been up by 30% if she would have sold it at a reasonable price. I feel like,
Yeah.
especially in the first year,
And
because
no
if
one would
you
have
look
talked
at
as
it,
much shit if it
yeah,
was.
and no, exactly. I feel like because she has a lot of fans, like regardless of what
Mhm.
we say about Sheree, she has a lot of fans. I feel like
Mhm.
if she was charging $20 for them t-shirts, maybe 45 for them suits, and things of that sort, she probably would have been up to 30% of retail proper if she would have did that in the first year. Which, when I say 30%, so let's say Sheree spent $100,000 between the website, the clothes, everything on this brand. When I say retail of 30%, that is what I'm saying going against. It has to
Mhm.
go against before she turns the profit over. So saying 30,000 to 100, that is still a lot,
Mhm.
considerably more than most people get in their
She's
first year.
trying to get ahead. Like, my husband is getting together merch for our brand,
Hmm.
and we were struggling, but took over. We've been now looking at vendors and manufacturers for the merch and stuff for like what feels like 2 years now. And we've accepted that you have to lose some money before you can make some money,
Yeah.
because I could easily go in and say, I'm going to charge 150 for this sweater. Then that covers my cost. And I see what she's doing. If you look at the prices, you're covering the cost of shipping it to the customer. You're covering the cost of packaging it to ship to the customer. You're covering the cost of what you spent on the product, and you're covering the cost that you just want
Yeah,
a
she's trying to do
product.
an even. She's trying to do an
She's
even
trying,
trade.
and
That's what that's called. You can't do that.
you
Like
cannot
not
do
not in
that.
your first year, especially. No, you can't do an
No,
even trade.
no. In
Like people
any
don't.
industry, really,
Yeah, people
unless
don't do
it's
even
social
trades
media.
until like, until you've opened like multiple locations. And then even then, and what you do is the even trade that you do actually doesn't come from the product, it actually comes from the lane of the business. So it's a
Yes.
little bit different this
Mhm,
time around. So I
mhm.
just feel like she
And it's unfortunate because as an OG housewife, and we forget that Sheree is an OG. She's more of an OG than Candy. She's more of an OG than many of these housewife series, because many of them did not exist when this woman was on TV.
Mhm.
It's not right for you, Sheree, if this gets back to her, to try and upsell your regular, average, middle to lower class fans, trying to upsell us because you didn't properly take advantage of an opportunity. You weren't going through divorces. You were already divorced coming on the show. You weren't going through baby mama, baby daddy drama. You had your kids. Bob wasn't shit. You didn't have the situations and struggles that everyone else coming on this show had in real time. Even Deshaun Snow, who was only in season one, has come up, had businesses, and used her fan base to her advantage. And she only did one season of The Housewives. Lisa Wu done had a million divorces while on TV, past being on TV, and still has found a way to solidify a brand for herself. Mimi Leaks is good saying F Bravo because she solidified and used her fan base to profit. Nothing's wrong with that. We expect that. But to overcharge people because of your lack of responsibility and intelligence,
She said what she said. I ain't got nothing to come back from that because that was so well put. Because absolutely, that's what it is.
it's not right. It's
Yeah.
wrong. It's predatory almost. But,
So moving on, Candy and Sheree hug it out. They, agree not to fight, and that's what it was. Next, moving on. So we're gonna do Drew's video shoot. She's at the skating rink. All of the girls show up except for Candy and Marlo because she didn't invite Marlo. And
I don't blame her.
Candy, huh?
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either, because what the fuck
Yeah.
Marlo gonna do? And I don't know why they never said why Candy never showed up. So we'll just kind of move on from there. The it does give it did give a little low budget, Drew. I ain't gonna lie,
Because there's
just a
been like
little
a
bit.
thousand skate videos. The video is cute,
It
but
is cute, and I thought everybody looked nice. I did, especially
oh yeah.
Sonya actually looked very nice. I liked her hair like that. And it was nice to see the sister see Drew work because that was the element that she once was in. So once again, I really appreciate this being shown on camera. It seems like the sister was much more comfortable being in front of the cameras, and I like that her and Ralph were able to have a moment that wasn't what he built it up to be. So it makes me
The moment
wonder.
was real for the sister. Ralph just did what he had to do because he realized when I see
See,
someone look at the cameraman or what's behind the camera before going over to a person who's upset, you're not genuine.
yeah, see, and that's the thing that kind of makes me mad about Ralph because it's like even if you had to fake it, like at least make it look real because that's the hug I want to give that sister. Just because you can see she's been through a lot.
I think when you're married too, you have to embrace your spouse's family.
Mm,
I actually look, I can't say what I want to say, but not everyone in my spouse's family do I like or respect. Okay. But I'm never going to be disrespectful around anybody who's super important to him. And
right.
obviously, Drew cares to have a relationship with her sister. And her sister is pivotal in Drew being Drew because you can have all the talent in the world. It's your manager that's going to help you get found and noticed. So
Hmm.
I'm glad to see that her sister was comfortable enough to like come on the screen. Her mom tearing up. You know, to me, I was kind of
Yeah.
disgusted with Ralph at the skate rink just because her mom is crying just to be able to have her children in the same room together again, and that's your fault, nigga. So, I look. I don't like that. Have your opinions, even if you have family issues. No one's family is perfect, but when you get in the middle or interrupt your spouse or the person you care for, your partner, being able to see or have a relationship that has substance with someone important to them, that's
Yeah.
selfish. Like if I love my spouse, then I can put up with some people I don't care for here and there, or put up with him being with them. So I wish Ralph would have done it. And I wish Drew didn't allow him to say who could and could not come to the house that she pays for.
Right. Exactly. That was crazy to me.
It's crazy.
So yeah, that was the end of Drew's little video shoot. I haven't watched the music video yet. I will soon.
It was
Um,
cute.
so moving on to the final scene, which was Marlo and this date. Marlo's getting ready for this date. On the way to the restaurant, she FaceTimes Sonya and shows the outfit. Sonya's all excited. And then out of nowhere, she decides that she wants to FaceTime Drew. And Marlo, we saw this. Is he was trying to get a moment with Drew to say she's fake.
But Drew
And
wouldn't entertain you.
yeah.
I loved it.
And I loved every part of it. When I tell you I was here for Drew, Drew was like, but wait a minute now, Marlo. I still don't think she was trying to detour Drew off of that shit.
I tried to. Drew's
And
like,
Drew
no.
kept going back and like, wait a minute, I still don't think you was a good friend to me and everything. And Marlo had to hang up because she realized she wasn't getting Drew. I said, that's what your ass get. That's
Did you see the
exactly what
little man driving Marlo who
he
was
was
like,
killing
oh
me. He was
my
laughing.
God. He was like, oh, when she came.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, yes,
I
get him.
live for it because that man, Bravo's call center, now the thug is coming at you. That man's response to Marlo, that's how we all feel. Oh my God. Oh, that's literally when she, because it's nothing that anyone, the man, that's it, call center. That's us. And
Hmm.
that's not a good reaction.
That's not. That shows this is a man that works for her. So that shows if your own employee is literally doing little facial expressions and smart little comments and laughs, that goes to show what he thinks of his employer
Yeah.
and what
Because
we all
look,
think
I don't
about
work how many of us, and I know whoever watches this video will raise their hand, and I don't have to know you. How many of y'all done worked with somebody or had a boss that you could not fucking stand. Who in private you like, this motherfucker crazy. They're crazy. I can't stand them. Something's really wrong with her. I know people have experienced that, and that poor man Marlo is that boss. And she kept
Yeah.
trying to clean up her image, it seemed, this episode with like foster care
I'm not
things.
I'm not even finna acknowledge and engage in that because I
It's
know I just I can't with Marlo with that. Like I'm not finna even go there.
stop. One of my
So
best friends from our high school actually was in foster care. And
mhm,
so I understand a little bit based on what she's told me and what I've seen of what goes into being a foster youth, at least in the state of California. And the things that those kids go through are worse than the worst of the things that's happened to me. And I grew up in a very abusive household. So it's, I like that she's trying to build and bring focus to foster youth because they are one of the most forgotten members of society. However,
mhm,
comma,
right.
your behavior, they don't have many people to look up to, foster youth who are former foster youth like themselves, who are well known. So behave like sense because people expect a foster kid to act the way Marlo acts based on negative stigmas and stereotypes. So I just wish that she would do better for the foster youth that have hope because I've lost hope for Marlo. So.
I have too as well. I won't bring that up because I don't want to make a mockery because that
Mhm.
is like you said a very serious thing, and I don't want to
Mhm.
make a mockery using Marlo as the face point of that because to me it seemed like when I heard that little girl speak and say, "I don't want to be known as a foster kid, just a regular kid," it's like absolutely, and you are. But when you have this person that's trying to use that for social and economical gain, it's hard
Mhm.
for me to take that serious. That's why I won't
Well,
mention it because I cannot take Marlo serious in that. As
yeah,
much as I hate her story, like as far as hate that for her, I don't want anyone to have to endure that. But
yeah,
the thing about it is that also you can't then use it as your profit. That is also not fair either.
yeah. That's
So,
that. You pretty much took that was pretty much how I felt. So I think
mhm,
that Bravo needs to pay attention to that.
right.
That's dangerous.
It is.
So
Absolutely, because kids can think that that's the way, and it's not. So that's why I'm saying I'm not going to address that on my channel. Y'all can go to someone else's channel for that. I'm not going to make a mockery of that because that's a very serious thing. Moving
mhm.
forward on to Marlo's date. So Marlo goes on this date with the owner of this restaurant. I've never heard of this restaurant. If anyone's ever eaten there, let me know because some of the food did look interesting. So why are you looking like that?
'Cause it did. I was
Yeah,
like,
it did. It looked interesting. I actually would when I go to Atlanta, I might not mind stopping there, but she was it seemed like it was in the presidential area because Marlo was looking around like, "Ooh, this is a strip mall. Oh, good, good,
girl,
good."
you done sliced somebody's face and been to Fulton County. Shut up. You're familiar with Fulton County Jail. Stop it.
Right? So, she meets, the guy's name is, what's that guy's name?
Irrelevant.
Right? Because we probably ain't gonna see him no more. But it was something,
He gave me I
Scott
might have
Lee.
a life
Scott
somewhere
yeah,
vibes.
Scott Lee was his name. So Scott Lee, he was a, he had a bunch of red flags. And Marlon just like, oh my god, oh my gosh, you've been to jail so have I. Hello, 6 months, 6. So have I. It was like, the fuck, man, the hell. You need to be asking more questions. Like, what did
She
you
was also
do?
very quick to like Marlo around a man. She
Hmm.
she knows how to apparently be around men. She's
Absolutely.
very, very cut. See, me, when I was, it's a miracle I ended up married y'all because I'm so socially awkward. But especially around men that may like, it's like, oh, you like me, like romantically? Why? I think I've asked that to like every dude I've ever dated. Like, why? So to watch her, she's just like, oh yeah,
She was
well,
just so
oh,
giddy.
you're
It was like,
I'm like,
okay. And then when he said, I have 3 kids. I have a 15-year-old and I have one that's 2 and 1. That's red
and
flag
a
number
what?
two.
And a
Two and a
1-year-old.
one, a 1-year-old. So the shit was
Mm-mm.
recent. That's red flag number two. Like I don't understand Marlo. She goes, I did want somebody who had kids, and but
She
he's
said
so
she wouldn't date
fine.
no one. with kids under a certain age or
5, I
something.
believe. I think it was 5.
Yeah. I was
I'm looking
like,
at her like, okay, well, he got 2 that were very recent. So is it by the same woman or is it different?
that's why I say before any of that came out, I was like, oh, he gives me like I got a wife or somebody somewhere vibes. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Dude was fine though. He was handsome. That was a wonderful piece of chocolate to look at. But I mean,
I wish his teeth were better.
I didn't even pay attention to all of
No, I did. That's the first thing I looked at.
that.
I said, "Oh no, for you to have that kind of money, I need
But
brother. He need Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Heavenly. We need you to make somebody over now." I can't wait to marry to that as it comes back. But anyways, do you think Marlo's gonna see this guy again?
probably for the story, but in real life, no.
I agree.
I
Yeah. So that was pretty much the episode, y'all. We getting through these lives. We got one more. So overall, we're gonna be on Mrs. Best's channel now. She's gonna do Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both of our channels because we are trying to grow them. If you like what you see, especially, just don't be watching and not subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. And now, if you don't like what you hear or if you don't like what you see, you can unsubscribe from me. That's fine. But we are building these channels up. So go to Mrs. Best channels. We're gonna do Summer House Martha's Vineyard, and that will be it for the day, y'all. We have fun. So I'll see you on Mrs. Best channel. Make sure y'all bring y'all asses there. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.
Bye.